Hello, I'm Namakam Kelabai. Welcome to IDC Insights, a program that profiles the Industrial Development Corporation's investments and subsidiaries in the group. Today we focus on a subsidiary, INDENI Petroleum Refinery Company. We talk to the CEO about the company's transformation and innovation. Welcome to Zambia's petroleum refinery plant. This is where crude oil is refined into kerosene, petrol, diesel, jet A1 and other oils. It is also where you find a company that has won 3 times Best Performing Subsidiary at the IDC Awards. Welcome to INDENI. What does INDENI do? Why is it important to the Zambian economy? What actually happens here?
INDENI, the key aspect of INDENI is the fact that it refines crude oil into finished products. So there are various finished products, but the public may be familiar with petrol, diesel and kerosene. But we have actually a range of 7 products that we are able to produce. But regarding the value of INDENI, other than those products that INDENI produces, we also basically contribute to the economy by providing jobs to the market. INDENI is one of those companies that has a whole range of specializations, whole range of careers that people can develop at INDENI. In fact, almost every field you find it here. So we provide that. INDENI has been giving a dividend out of its performance to IDC, the shareholder. So that is another way we have contributed to the survival of the economy of the country. If you look at INDENI, it has a large cadre of contractors and suppliers. So INDENI provides opportunities to people out there, those who are in business, giving them contracts to raise money, to feed and support their families, and to support their industries. That is another chief contributor. Being a business, there's the aspect of taxation. INDENI has been able to provide a lot of money in terms of tax to the economy of the country. We contribute in the form of customs duty, excise duty, VAT, and all the various forms of tax. You find them here at the refinery.
Recently, you've been looking for a strategic equity partner. I'm aware that INDENI has been there since 1973. Why are you looking for an equity partner?
What we have assessed is that within the next few years, as long as INDENI doesn't expand, its market share will dwindle to almost irrelevant. So what is required is that INDENI has to undertake expansion. And with expansion requires money. And you find when you look at our resources as INDENI, we are not able to raise the kind of money that we need to bring about that expansion. So the result is that we need some kind of financing. Now when you consider the possible financing that is available, you find the route of equity partner seems to be a risk one, because in that arrangement the risks are basically shared with the partner. So that's why we have taken the option of equity partner as one possible option. We can access financing for building the refinery, expanding it to the capacity that we need. Because currently we are actually targeting a capacity of double the current. The current is 1.1 million metric tons. We'd like to at least double that, 2.2 metric tons, so that we become more competitive on the market. Our market share is basically retained. Otherwise, without that, we'll continue to go backwards. Further, there's an aspect of diesel. INDENI currently is not able to produce low sulfur diesel, which has become common on the market. The result is that in the area of diesel, INDENI will become uncompetitive. So we want to bring in a plant that will be able to give us diesel, low sulfur diesel, which will be competitive on the market. That again requires a lot of money, which can only be attained by having a financing from outside. And that is one of the targets under the equity partner route, that through the equity partner arrangement, we may be able to get this plant as well available at INDENI Refinery.
One of the focus points in providing oversight to the subsidiaries within the group is instilling a culture of innovation. The IDC expects its subsidiaries to embrace a mindset of innovation. The organizations must be willing to constantly change, innovate, and stay ahead of the competition in order to survive beyond middle age. So let's talk about innovation. You talked about the products that are currently available. Is there any other than the low sulfur diesel that you're looking at? Are there any other innovative ideas that we expect to see from INDENI?
There are specific areas that we have focused on. One of them, for example, I can give currently that we are looking at is the aspect of blending of ethanol into petrol. Yeah, we have been doing a study and we have done some tests around that we can blend petrol with ethanol. We have done a test of up to 30% of ethanol into petrol. The advantage of that will be, on one side is that you raise what is called octane number for the petrol. So the octane number is actually an efficiency measurement of a petrol engine, how well it can deliver the power that is supposed to deliver. So when you put the ethanol there, it helps to raise the octane number. The impact is that you find your refinery, in terms of severity of operation, you operate it at lower temperatures because you are achieving the octane that is needed using an alternative product. In the current arrangement, you have to heat the material much higher to attain the same equivalent octane. So that's one route. But the other advantage is that by adding ethanol into the petrol, you are basically increasing the volume. So it means when you talk about market share, we end up getting a bit more volume from the refinery than we would get if we just restrict to the stream that we have. The other area of innovation that we are looking at is in the area of power. We believe that the refinery, using the products that are there, some of the less useful products, we can actually use them to generate power. You see the flare at the end there, which is going up. That is gas that is actually being burned. That specific gas is not very usable as LPG, for example. Yes, so you end up burning it there. Our thought is that we need to enhance such gases to use them. If it can burn there, it means it can give us energy somewhere. We are also looking at some lighter products, like one of the products which is an offshoot of petrol, called light gasoline. It can also be used to generate actually power. You heat it in an engine to generate actually electricity. So our R&D, we set up a research and development committee that is focusing on these areas so that we pursue these things, and as we proceed, we'll be able to showcase what the outcomes of these innovative reviews have been.
Now, the IDC's mandate, the other mandate, is to transform state-owned enterprises, which is our subsidiaries, to make them obviously viable, commercially viable. You are obviously one of those success stories. You have, as the MD of the INDENI, you've embraced the transformation. Speak to us more about what else that you have done to run with this agenda of transformation.
We were one of the companies that were really excited with the idea. We felt that if we have to really improve our efficiency, we need to actually use that as our standard. Now, the beauty of it is that as INDENI, we have certain systems already established. One of which I can mention, there is a system that we have been utilizing as management called International Sustainability Rating System. This system actually helps us to develop standards of operation in every area of our operation. So you have in operations, in safety, in finance, and so on. So that are certain standards that basically relate to the ones that IDC is asking us to abide by. So I found that by pursuing that system, it has made it easy for us actually to be more compliant on this system. It's as if we are killing two birds with one stone. We are becoming compliant here, we're also becoming compliant as an IDC company. So for us, we feel that's the right way for us. We feel that it has helped us actually to build ourselves up. We think we're a better company now than we were, say, years back before IDC's influence. We think that has been a key contributor that we have gotten from IDC, and we're looking forward actually to support it and to even get even better following that benchmark.
In addition to a robust management system being in place, INDENI has a state-of-the-art control room called the Distribution Control Systems, which is the center for control refining processes in the process plant. It is here that the process flow and process parameters are monitored real-time for any troubleshooting. Prior to this installation, monitoring was done manually.
So this is our control room, and in this control room we have workstations from which we remotely control the parameters and the operations in the plant's area, as well as the utilities, which is the auxiliary support services. So in this control room, we have supervisors as well as process controllers who carry out instructions according to the procedures, as well as best practice in terms of safeguarding the plant, as well as processing our feedstock and providing support services to the required specifications. So in here we also have live state-of-the-art control units, which is of the distributed control system type, called, or in short, called the DCS. The DCS, as mentioned, is a distributed control system, meaning we are able to monitor and control the system remotely from any of our computers that has been installed in this place. The controls that we usually institute on this system is the process flows. We have pressures, we have levels, as well as temperatures. So the plant side of the processing unit is actually divided into two workstations with various monitors, and we have two process controllers in charge of the two workstations. And at the workstations, we have monitors that can be manipulated to show general views, in-depth views of closing on a particular equipment or trending of process parameters. Also, we have also alarm systems that can also be monitored to give warnings of any parameters that are not within the set parameters. Most of the controls prior to the installation of the distributed control system were actually being done on analog panels, which had no pictorials, and also which were manually manipulated to see how the process was operating. It was also very difficult to verify and process parameters that were faulty or not so reliable. We also had no chance actually to physically verify alarms, especially online or the current alarms, because the system was not computerized. It was an analog system, and as a result, it took time for us to do troubleshooting. It was a bit more troublesome. Currently, we are able to do process flows in terms of troubleshooting, and it's very easy as it is to actually see the trends as well as troubleshoot online, because we are able to see these parameters within the context even of the mimics as well as the process flowcharts. We are also able to easily manipulate the system where we can zero in on particular internal readings on equipment, which was not the case previously. The emergency shutdown system, as installed on the distributed control system, is actually one of the major improvements that we've had in terms of safety management of the plant. We have a system where we are able to get an alarm, we are able to acknowledge the alarm, take corrective action, and if the action is still not sufficient, we are able to safely shut down the units using soft buttons on our ESD control panels on the DCS control system. Previously, we have been able to shut down, for example, the heaters at the reforming unit when we had a runaway temperature, and as such, we saved some of the damage that would have been done to the equipment by a soft emergency control system press. Basically, we have a much safer, much better control system with the ESD. We are also able to troubleshoot as to what really has triggered a particular alarm or a particular emergency using our current ESD system.
Aside from the state-of-the-art distribution control systems, INDENI has also invested in various essential plant upgrades to not only enhance efficiency, but also increase longevity of the plant.
What has been happening is that over the years, through our capital project financing support, we have been basically renewing the refinery. So many of the equipment that you see here, some of them may look like they are old, but really we have done a lot of renewal. 90% of, for example, the heat exchangers in the refinery have been renewed. Heat exchangers, this is the equipment that does the heat exchange between various product streams. We have been renewed. We have renewed all the furnaces. We replaced them with new internals and so on. We have constructed new tanks. At least there are 2 new tanks that we have constructed over the last 5 years. We have basically rehabilitated all the tanks in the refinery to give them more life for the future. So when you rehabilitate, say, a tank, it means you can give it another 40 years as long as the job is properly done. So all these renewals have been there. But further to that, looking into the future, that expansion I talked about is key. Because beyond the stagnation, we need to develop another business case, meaning refinery must expand and start generating more revenue, start generating more input for the nation. So that expansion is one of the important things that must happen. Otherwise, refinery may get stuck at a certain point because it would have exhausted its existing capacity.
As part of its corporate social responsibility, INDENI supports INDENI Football Club and also, in partnership with Ndola Lime, now Limestone Resources, have constructed a mini hospital in Indeke Township in Ndola. The 200-bed capacity hospital will provide healthcare services to a population of 20,000 in Indeke, Bwanamukubwa, Mukulungwe, and other surrounding areas.
INDENI has been very active, actually, in the area of corporate social responsibility. Being one of those companies that are doing relatively well, inevitably we have to have an impact. I've always spoken to my managers that, you know, the existence of a company, one of the key measures is how well it also contributes to the community out there. By virtue of its activities, we may be generating profits and declaring dividends. But if that cycle just ends like that, it doesn't make much sense. When we extend and help the community to get better, then we find ourselves having more impact, having more use to the society in which we live. So as a result of that, we have embraced various corporate social responsibility activity. In the area of sport, for example, we have supported football. We actually have an INDENI team that is performing very well. It's actually second in the league, Division 1. So it's taken second. The girls team as well is there, drawing players from the community as well to work together with us. But we feel that one of our key contributions that we have been proud about is the clinic that we have built in Indeke. This clinic is yet to be commissioned. We are targeting actually to commission it this year, but there have been disturbances related to COVID that has made us fail. But we are very proud of that because we believe the impact is greater in the area of clinic. There will be a maternity section there. There will even be a dental section and the various health facilities that you expect from a clinic. It's actually literally a mini hospital. So all those make us feel proud because the impact is now felt by the community In so doing, we believe that we are actually making the community as our allies. When we come to certain programs that we need to push, we'll get their support as well, because they are getting benefit from this facility called INDENI.
IDC is committed to ensuring that INDENI remains profitable and sustainable, hence taking a cautious approach in preparing to bring a strategic partner which shall help to modernize the company's infrastructure and production capacity.
Yes, in the strategic plan, we have a vision to be the leading refinery in Africa. That is basically what drives all the activities that we do, and as you can see from that vision, it's a very big vision to be the leading refinery in Africa. It means in terms of standards and all, we must basically match the best of the best within Africa and in the world. So we have developed standards that should match those. So we don't set our benchmarks based on the general standards that are there. We set our benchmark based on what would be expected of an institution that is internationally rated. So everything that we drive is driven by that key vision. We want to be the best, and we are seeking to be by doing things as would be done by a company that has that kind of ambition of being the best refinery in Africa.
Since the recording of this program, INDENI successfully commissioned the 200-bed capacity mini hospital. Well, that's the end of our program. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.